All right, so this is gonna be a little video, man, a little reaction video with my. I love this guy, man. His name's Matt Birkin. He's an MX rider. He's actually really good MX rider. Uh, let's check him out.
throughout their careers, despite both of them trying to be the top dog in the sport. Then we'll go into Lucas Kunin and how I think this dude is just really trying to be just like Jett Lawrence, almost to cringeworthy levels. We'll talk about Antonio Cairoli and Ducati's debut in the Pro Motocross Championship, as well as Antonio's possible aspirations to race Super Motocross. And we even got to throw out some props to the hero that Antonio didn't know he needed. And then we got to flip the page to a bad note. Our boy AP is out for the weekend and hopefully not any longer. And what are we blaming it on? Alden Baker or the insanely long season? And finally, we'll get into some new entries in both classes for Washougal this weekend. And then, of course, we'll get into a Washougal track preview and some predictions, as well as talk about a Thursday night race where there's an awesome opportunity for privateers to make some cash while out on the West Coast. But before I do that, got to give a huge thank you to my channel sponsors. Thank you to ASV Inventions and Sirius Studio. I've got discount codes and more info in my description. And don't forget, if you're supporting them, you're supporting me. Let's get into it. First up, we're going to talk about Hunter and Jett Lawrence and the incredible dynamic that they have as two brothers fighting to get to the top of the sport. And it's honestly like nothing we've ever seen before. We've seen the Martin brothers, the Stewart brothers, the Alessis. We've seen brothers in this sport, but I don't think we've ever seen two brothers that are this good, feed off of each other this well, and work together so well to both get better and elevate themselves above the competition. And now they've even gotten to the point where the two of them are just pretty much smoking the rest of the field. Nobody had a damn thing for these guys at Millville. They were in a completely different time zone than the rest of the field. And the question that I'm going to pose and the question that I'm seeing people asking is if this friendly dynamic of helping each other and working together will continue throughout their careers and if they'll even stick together and continue riding for the same team. I mean, at this point, with Hunter getting second to his little brother Jett, you got to think it's starting to get tough mentally. You know, as a racer, you want to be the top dog, you want to win, but by all accounts, from people that would actually know, it doesn't seem like this dynamic is going to change anytime soon. Both of the boys were in it together back when they.
You know, like I said earlier in a post, my brother always had my best interest in mind. He was only 6 years older than me, but he was actually my baseball coach and everything, man. So
Came from nothing in Australia. They've both been through the struggle. They've worked together through all of it, and they are damn near an unstoppable force. You'd be hard pressed to find any other teammates that have ever worked together this well, riding each other's bikes on press day. I mean, as far as bike setup and team camaraderie goes, you can't find a negative about having these two brothers on board. So, considering both of these boys came from eating ramen out of a hubcap in Australia, I kind of feel like the dynamic should only continue. Both the brothers seem to make each other better, and like I said about Millville, different time zone, it appears to be working just fine. So whether they stay teammates forever or not, that's kind of a different conversation, but call them a couple of vegetarians because there's not going to be any beef. And then speaking of brothers, over in Europe, we've got the Kunin brothers, and today we're going to talk about Lucas Kunin, who is actually hunting down Roman Fevre for the lead in the MXGP series. But I'm starting to see some imposter syndrome out of the 96. We all saw, especially in Supercross.
wanted to move up here to him talking about uh, Vial here. Yeah, he's talking about Tom Vial here in just a second. Actually, I also have a in-depth uh, injury report as well, so um, I'll give you that
Not
here in
quite
just
on
a minute.
par with the elite guys of the sport. Yes, he's a two-time champion, but he didn't do it off of speed and skill. He did it off of superior racecraft and consistency. And the 450 class is the cutthroat national. You need more than consistency and racecraft. You got to be an absolute dog. So rather than stay here and just be another guy from 8 to 12, it sounds like Tom is headed back home with a really good deal for good money and multiple years at Honda HRC. So he's got himself some job security. It would have been really tough to head into a rookie year of Supercross in the 450 class.
Matt, I heard, which you probably got better inside information than me, but I heard it was a 1 year deal. Um, I didn't know he was going overseas though, which it makes sense.
On a 1 year deal, one chance to prove yourself, and then you're out.
There
And
you
on
go.
top of all that, even the Pro Motocross Series has not gone to plan for Tom Vial, especially when you consider his potential. And last but not least, people that would know are saying that his salary potential in MXGP would be a lot higher than it is in the 450 class here in the States. So, Pepe, we're going to miss you, but I think you made the right call. How about Antonio frickin' Cairoli? The dude is like 100 years old on a brand new bike that's completely unproven in the States, and the dude can still come out here and get top 10 moto finishes even while he's just here on guest appearances. Caroli is absolutely unbelievable, a total class act, and a total badass. I know I said he was 100, but really, he's 40. And even before he came over here, I think he went 7-6 at Matterley Basin in the MXGP series. And it has been so damn rad.
So he's a year younger than me, and I cannot imagine getting out there with Jett and Hayden Deegan. He, like he said, he might as well be a 100. You know.
And so cool to have him over here and to have him debuting a brand new motorcycle in Ducati. And that thing looks pretty damn good. It's been doing well in MXGP. Tony made it look good here. He claimed he was riding a stock bike, and I think Tony and I have a little bit of a different definition of the word stock, but still, he wasn't out there on some works bike, and he made it look really good. And originally, Tony was only supposed to do these two races, Redbud and Millville, but Vital MX's Lewis Phillips is now reporting that Tony has taken an interest in the SMX series. Only the top 20 are seeded directly into the finals for the playoffs, and then after top 20, they take 10 more into the LCQs, so you would think maybe it's 20 through 30, but usually not everybody's available, and Tony is already up to 36th in points. So if Tony does a few more races, he should for sure be able to seed himself into that LCQ race, and he's a legend. He'd be able to qualify. I sure would love to see it, and let's hope that it happens. I'll tell you one thing that I sure am glad that didn't happen is Antonio getting a hole burnt directly through his ass at the beginning of 450 Moto 1 at Millville. He was saved by privateer hero Marshall Welton. Tony was down, trapped under the machine, and Marshall saw him, stopped, turned around, and went and picked the bike up off of the Italian legend. And as somebody who has spent 3 weeks in the hospital due to a burn, I gotta commend Marshall Welton on the incredible act of
Yeah, I
sportsmanship.
tell y'all, that's really something. I seen that earlier. All right, now I'm going to go through a quick in-depth injury report for Washougal here coming up. This is from Racer X. We got this. This is maybe a little more in depth than some of you, so I'll try to shorten it up a little bit here. So we got Jason Anderson. He's got, it just says health issues, which I think it's just he needs to get it together. He's ready to leave. I don't know what Kawasaki did to him, but he is not happy. Dylan Ferrandis has a leg. Grant Harlan, leg out. Freddie Noren just says banged up. Of course, AP has that illness. They're not sure exactly what that is, but he could be out for a couple races. Cooper Webb, he's got a knee issue. Max Anstey's leg out. We got Juju Bomir, just says banged up. Dax Bennett, concussion. Pierce Brown, it says back out. Casey Cochran, shoulder. We got Trevor Collop, and that's a femur, and it says a stroke. So praise for him, prayers for him. We got Cole Davies, arm and nose. Chance Hymas, ACL. Ty Masterpool, it says hand out. And Cameron McAdoo, knee out. And that's straight from Racer X. Um, anyway, y'all, I hope y'all have a good evening. And this is Luco MX, coming live from Missouri, trying to do the best I can here. So if you all don't mind, please give me a like, a subscribe, please. Comments, I'll talk. Well, whatever you got, shoot it to me. Luco, in and out.